Troubling trend what the numbers show when it comes to this holiday season's hottest gift. Also, brave father. That's how the daughters of a man recently killed by suspected burglars are describing him this morning. Their message for the suspects might surprise you. And snowed in. What residents of the hardest hit area of the state by the recent winter storm are doing this morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to KRQE News 13 this morning. I'm Crystal Gutierrez. Today is Tuesday, December 29th. We are staying on top of the deadly winter storm hitting the country right now as it continues to move east, leaving New Mexico a mess in its wake. News 13 Cheyenne Cope is live out in Roswell, where many are stuck inside their homes. But first, we start with Kristen Curry in the Weather Center tracking the latest. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, everyone at home. We are not quite done with the snow. The storm itself that hit us over the weekend, that's out east. This is a second storm moving in. Already starting to see a little bit of some light snow out over the Hemis and parts of the western slopes of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. It's not a lot, but there is more in store later on today. Your temperatures are in the single digits up in Cortez and Durango. Roswell down to 5 degrees this morning. Albuquerque about 20 degrees warmer, puts us at 25 degrees to start our Tuesday. We will only warm up to the low 30s this afternoon. You see the snow showers in our forecast here in the metro as well. 3-day forecast shows more sunshine coming back for midweek, but the temperatures not warming up at all over the next several days. I'll break down that entire 7-day forecast. We'll go over the details of today's storm here in about 10 minutes.
Thanks so much, Kristen. This morning, people in eastern New Mexico are still trying to dig themselves out after the recent massive winter storm. One of the places hit the hardest, Roswell. That's where we find News 13 Cheyenne Cope live with a look at the latest conditions out there. Good morning, Cheyenne.
Yes, Crystal, it's been a long few days here in Roswell. Many people, including myself, we've been stuck in our homes for days, especially out here in the county. Road conditions are still terrible in some places. Many cars are stuck in the snow, which is still up to my knees in many places. People here started to use their own equipment to try to clear these roads. City and county officials say they're doing their best to clear the roads, but it hasn't been easy. Roads in and out of Roswell have been closed for the last few days. Some are opening back up, but US 70 from Ruidoso to Roswell is still closed. Officials are asking that people try to stay off the roads if they can, especially in the morning when they are frozen. Many businesses have been closed since Sunday because employees have not been able to make it into work. Now, all county offices are closed again today. Officials say that there's just too much snow in the parking lots and on the sidewalks. Back to you, Crystal.
All right, thanks, Cheyenne. Be safe out there. Many city offices will open around 1 today. Others will remain closed. As you wake up this morning, I-40 is back open after being shut down for a full day and a half. State officials say they shut down the interstate to stop travel into areas hit even harder by the recent winter storm, like Texas and in Oklahoma. As the storm moves east this morning, officials in those states are still reporting difficult driving conditions. Back in New Mexico, we're still seeing some dicey spots with the main roads to the south and east still closed right now. Here's a live look at the NM Roads website. Still closures near Santa Rosa, Carlsbad, and Artesia. Also, we just got word in that there has been a semi-rollover east of Santa Rosa on the westbound lanes of I-40 that has closed a section of that interstate there. Happening today in the East Mountains, you can expect snow-packed and icy roads as you head out this morning. A different story from yesterday when we saw people forced to dig out and get to work.
I live about a quarter-mile off the road from Frost, and it was, got about a solid 16, 18 inches of snow. I just got a little two-wheel drive truck, so it was a bit of a pain getting out, but managing.
A lot of snow still on the ground there this morning, so you'll want to make sure to take your time as you head out. The National Guard still on standby this morning after surveying the hardest hit areas of the state.
The most amazing thing is it is white as far as the eye can see.
That's Governor Susana Martinez. She was on board as they looked at the roads yesterday. National Guard also spent the day flying over highways looking for stranded cars and checking out the conditions of the interstate and other roads. They went to Roswell, Artesia, Carlsbad, and Hobbs. While some of the roads are getting clear, there are still some spots that the state is recommending drivers to completely avoid. The governor says the state is also helping clear the county roads at this time. The winter weather shut down Carlsbad Caverns. Still no word this morning on when it will reopen. Officials say the road conditions to the national park site are just too dangerous right now. Plus, Highway 62, 180, leading to the caverns are closed to all traffic this morning. Of course, you can track the weather conditions online and also on our KRQE News app. Turning now to some overnight news, the Albuquerque Fire Department kept busy putting out a late night fire in northeast Albuquerque. It happened around 11 last night near Louisiana and Comanche. When fire crews arrived, they found light smoke coming from the house. Crews quickly contained the fire to one of the rooms, which was out within minutes. Everyone inside was able to get out quickly. That was the good news here. Unfortunately, smoke damage forced the family out of the home for the night. No word on the cause of the fire. We will continue to update the story as more details come into our newsroom, on air, and through our KRQE News app. Moving on to this, we are hearing from the family of an Albuquerque man stabbed to death this weekend. While they're still dealing with their loss, they say they've forgiven their father's suspected killers. 55-year-old William McKinley was stabbed several times after confronting two men outside his Fort Hills home on Saturday. APD says the men were trying to break into McKinley's car. 25-year-old Tyler Hernandez has been charged with his murder. The alleged getaway driver, 26-year-old Craig Whitted, faces a burglary charge. McKinley's family says they weren't surprised he died during trying to protect those he loved, and he would want them to pray for his suspected killer.
I know that my dad would stand in agreement with us to forgive the gentleman who killed him.
The judge set Hernandez's bond at $250,000 cash only. Hernandez previously served 9 months in prison for breaking into homes and stealing guns, including a gun that ended up being used in the shooting of a 13-year-old boy. And in July, Hernandez was accused of breaking into his grandfather's house. We'll stay on this story and let you know how it does develop. Happening today, you can help the family of a UNM football player killed in a car wreck on his way home for the holidays. Pizza 9 is fundraising for Markel Bird's funeral expenses and to help with medical bills for his girlfriend, Alexis Ortiz, who was injured in that crash. You can buy coupon books for $10 to save at places like Hinkle Family Fun Center. Pizza 9 will then be donating 70% of their sales to funds set up for Bird and Ortiz. On to some breaking overnight news. Motorhead frontman Lemmy Kilmister is dead at the age of 70. The singer-songwriter died in L.A. after battling a short but aggressive cancer. The rocker was a deeply respected and revered musician, described as an innovator of rock music. A lot of people will be missing him. New video of a hoverboard exploding at a Texas mall is showing a troubling trend this morning. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the agency says that as of Monday, there were 70 reported hoverboard-related emergency room visits. That's just over the holidays. Most of those did involve falls and collisions. However, the CPSC issued a warning earlier this month following reports of hoverboards suddenly catching fire, like the one you see here. The federal government is investigating 22 reports of hoverboards bursting into flames. For Trump, the digital traffic sign with a message that's gone viral, how officials say it got changed in the first place. Plus, never giving up, how rescuers were able to save a couple trapped under feet of snow. And snowed in, a look at current conditions in the region hit the hardest by the recent storms in New Mexico. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to KRQE News 13 this morning. I'm Crystal Gutierrez. Today is Tuesday, December 29th. We are staying on top of the deadly winter storm hitting the country right now as it continues to move east, leaving New Mexico a mess in its wake. We have News 13 Cheyenne Cope live out in Roswell, where many are still stuck inside their homes. News 13 Sarah Yingling is in the Newsplex, where we're already hearing about successful rescues. But first, we start with Kristen Curry, who's live here in the Weather Center, tracking the latest. Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning, Crystal. Good morning, everyone at home. Yes, we still do have snow in today's forecast, but it's not going to be as intense or as widespread as what we had over the weekend. Let's first start with a look at those morning temperatures, because not only are we talking snow today, it's still downright cold across the entire area. We don't even have 30s on the map, just teens, 20s, some even down to the single digits out there. So grab the heavy coat. Doppler radar showing a little bit of the light snow near the Jemez Mountains and stretching further to the north. This is only the start of the shower activity I expect today. Showers likely here in the metro. Temps warming into the low 30s, which is actually warmer than yesterday, but not by much. Scattered snow showers in the forecast today, but gone by the time we hit tomorrow. Those cold temps will continue for the next several days. I'll break down that entire 7-day for you when we'll break down today's storm as well, coming up here in just a few minutes.
And we continue this morning with statewide weather coverage. Travel still very dangerous down in Roswell right now, with the National Guard out working to get those who are still stranded to a safe place. News 13 Cheyenne Cope is live in Roswell with the latest on the conditions down there. Good morning, Cheyenne.
Yeah, Crystal, while I-40 is back open leading into eastern New Mexico in the southeast part of the state, here in Roswell, we're not out of the woods just yet. Many roads are still icy, some impassable. Governor Susana Martinez tells News 13 DOT crews were out in the overnight hours working to clear what's left. Martinez says the National Guard flew over highways in the area yesterday looking for abandoned cars. They spotted a few, so DOT went out to make sure no one was inside. Those cars were given the all clear. However, some counties in southeast New Mexico are still saying their emergency crews are having trouble getting to cars and homes where people may be trapped. The snowdrifts are up to 10 feet high in places, sometimes surrounding people's homes. The Chavez County Sheriff says no one should be out on the roads because they are still too dangerous. Now, the sheriff also says that snow plows are in short supply, so it's taking some time to get people out of their homes, and he says that they will be working on that again this morning. Crystal, back to you.
All right, thanks, Cheyenne. At last check, Curry County Emergency Management is also working to respond to reports of stranded drivers stuck in snow drifts. And this morning, we are hearing the story behind one of those rescue efforts. News 13's Sarah Yingling joins us now with a man's heroic effort. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Crystal. It was definitely a close call, one that left a couple out delivering newspapers trapped in their car for nearly 20 hours, with people, including one heroic man, trying everything to get them out. Clovis city worker Bill Shear says they heard a couple had been buried in their car 2 miles southeast of Clovis Saturday night. But with gusts, 12 feet high snow drifts, and complete darkness, they couldn't pinpoint where the couple was. Bill and 2 other volunteers spent hours trying to find the car as the couple guided them on their phones. The searchers had to be careful not to drive over the car they couldn't see.
I told them we didn't want to drive up and down the road and in the ditch because we could crush them with that tractor. At one point with the dozer, we had actually crushed in the snow next to the car and broke out the back window and started to crush the roof.
They were just about to stop searching when they found the car. Bill says he kicked in the windshield of the car and they were able to pull the couple out. The couple said it was the strong wind that got them stuck there in the first place and when a big wind gust blew them into a ditch. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Very dangerous situation. News 13 spoke with that couple. They say they're doing okay. I-40 back open this morning after being closed for more than a day during the storm. State police and the DOT shut down the interstate at the Big I because of weather across the eastern half of the state and into Texas and Oklahoma. As truck stops and travel centers filled up, an estimated 300 to 400 semis ended up stuck on I-40 in Albuquerque. This morning, many roads in southeastern New Mexico are still closed. Here's a live look out at the NM Roads website. Still some closures near Santa Rosa, Carlsbad, and Artesia, also in Roswell, where Cheyenne was reporting from. A basketball game for New Mexico State still up in the air this morning. The team was supposed to play Wichita State yesterday, but could not fly out to make the game. According to CBS Sports, though, it has been tentatively rescheduled to today. Meanwhile, the weather has also postponed a game for eastern New Mexico and El Paso. No word on when that game will be rescheduled. We'll let you know as soon as the information gets passed on to us. Stay with KRQE News 13 on air and, of course, through our KRQE News app for the latest weather conditions and road conditions. Also, we do have some closures and delays that are scrolling at the bottom of your screen. They will continue scrolling throughout our breaks. This morning, parts of the Northeast are seeing the first snow of the winter season. This as the deadly winter storm system moves east, punishing other parts of the country. This morning, nearly 8,000 flights across the country are delayed or canceled. We did check overnight, and that did include flights at the Sunport. On Monday, the same system dumped heavy snow and ice on the nation's midsection, sparking several crashes there. It also brought heavy rain, triggering widespread flooding in the Midwest and in the South. Moving on to this, a so-called affluenza teen wanted for violating his probation in Texas is back in custody this morning. 18-year-old Ethan Couch was arrested in Puerto Vallarta on Monday. That's 2 weeks after he did not show up for a hearing. Couch made headlines back in 2013 when he was sentenced to 10 years probation following a drunk driving crash that killed 4 people. On to news happening today. Albuquerque police are looking for a second person who may have something to do with the deadly shooting over the weekend. Police have already arrested 18-year-old Isais Madrid for the murder of 18-year-old Arturo Villa. Police say Villa was shot in a mobile home park near Unser and Blake Sunday. After a fight, Villa would later die. 2 other 17-year-old boys were shot that same night. Now police are looking for a second person possibly linked to this case. That's 22-year-old Jack Trujillo. Still unclear this morning what sort of punishment 2 Chaves County Sheriff's deputies will get for a high-speed pursuit. 22-year-old Andrew West led Sheriff's deputies Pedro Silva and Jacob Sanchez on a chase reaching speeds of 140 miles an hour last month. West was driving on a suspended license at the time and had been arrested for speeding before. Investigators say the deputies should not have given chase and instead issued a warrant. Both deputies could receive anything from a written warning to even termination. On to news happening right now. California transportation officials are tightening up security after someone hacked a traffic sign, leaving a message that's now gone viral. Take a look at this. For half a day, this digital freeway sign in Corona was not giving drivers directions. Instead, it was stumping for Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. After one driver recorded it, she put it on Facebook and it started trending. This morning, it's already been seen more than 400,000 times. Can you believe that?